Hello, welcome back to Freddy in the Shed. We are back up in the Radio Shack. Now, this video is going to be a little bit odd because it's going to get jumbled up with what videos I've got coming up on the channel. And if all goes well with this video, you'd have already have seen this radio on the Big Net because I'm hoping to use this on the Big Net. Originally, I was going to do a full review on this Radioddity QT60. You'll recognise the radio when we crack it open. But they sort of changed goalposts. They were going to launch this radio in the UK, and then they decided to launch the QT80, which was the new version of the CRT 9900. So they put this one back. And currently, as I'm making this video, what are we now, mid-October, they still haven't said whether they're going to actually launch this one in the UK. But we know it as the CRT 7900. So I've been hanging back on this. I've had this sitting up here for a few months now. But as I say, I want to use it on the Big Net. So I thought it's maybe about time that, I don't want to do a review on it, but it's about time we cracked into it and had a look at it as a radio. And hopefully I can program it in this video, get the UK FM on it, and as I say, want to use it on the net. So let's get started on it anyway. So this radio, as the CRT 7900, has been out in the UK for a few years now. I think it's an intermediate radio. I still think that the CRT 6900, the latest, especially the latest version with noise suppression, it's got noise reduction, I still think that's a better starter radio because it looks like a CB radio, and you would be familiar with it if you're new to CB. The QT80 or the 9900, yeah, I think that's quite advanced. That works very much like a HF ham radio. And this one's a little bit in between. This one isn't so channelized, but it does give you a frequency response. Sorry, a frequency display. So yeah, I think this one's a little bit in between, and the power is quite good as well. So anyway, this is the Radioddity version, the QT60, sold in America. So my America viewers, you can get this radio over there. It sells really, really strongly with the ham radio brigade because they use it on 10 meters as a high-powered ham radio, and obviously very easy, hopefully, to reprogram down to 11 meters. So, yeah, very popular in America and also in the UK. Right, that needs to stay up. So there's the owner's manual. That's the radio. We've all seen it before. Quite a large-sized radio. It's not such a not a radio that's going to go so well portable in a car. I think that's where the QT80 comes in, or the 9900. It's more of a home-based radio. When I get it out of the box, I'll compare it with the 6900, but I think it's about the same size. Generic instructions, not too bad actually, I must admit. Radioddity instructions are pretty decent. It does tell you where everything is on the radio and tells you where everything goes. It does come with a very good microphone. We'll have a look at that in a moment, but I think, if my memory is correct, I think it's a RJ45 plug and not a 4 or 6 pin, which does restrict the microphones that you may want to plug into it, like a home-based microphone or a power microphone. Now, one thing I like about Radioddity is, so far with all the radios they've supplied, if they are programmable, they supply the lead with the radio. That's really, really good. And also the software for this is available in the support section on the website. And again, that saves you searching for it. You know the cable is going to fit the radio, and it just saves the hassle, doesn't it? Really, of searching it for yourself. Right. So this is the radio itself. Like I say, I've not even opened this because I was hoping to do a full review. It is big actually. It's a big radio. It is a full size. Well, straight away there, quite a decent chunky heatsink. Obviously the CRT 9900 or the QT80, quite a compact radio, does get very, very hot on the back when you run it on full power. They have reduced the power slightly on the Mark II version of 9900 to try and sort of combat that. But this actually is these days That is a decent sized heatsink. Nice big speaker, big cabinet, so you're going to get a good beefy bass response, and it's also quite heavy. I'm a bit of a weakling. I'm struggling to hold it in one hand. Let's just have a quick look at it out of the box. So yeah, there you go. It's actually it's bigger than I thought, to be honest. The display is bigger than I thought. So there's the bracket, very chunky if you were going to mount this in the car, and yeah, it's just metal coloured, isn't it, really? It's got some kind of coating on it, but I just like a black bracket that matches the radio. I think it looks better, but it is what it is. Power connection lead, standard Uniden type socket there. Yeah, reasonable thickness. Not HF quality thickness. Only one fuse. See, again, on a HF radio you generally get 2 fuses, and also on the QT80 you get 2 fuses, one in the positive and one in the return, in the negative side of this one. Yeah, you just get the 1 fuse. It's not a bad length of cable though. No plug or anything on you, just some soldered tips. But yeah, would have liked to have seen a second fuse on that, to be honest. A bag of little stick-on rubber gaskets, if you like. And don't do what I did on the QT80. I stuck them on the radio, stick them onto the bracket. And then that way, if you have to go inside the radio, I don't know if I have to go inside this radio to wideband, I've got no idea. Comes with 1 spare fuse, is that? Yeah, 1 spare fuse and a mic clip if anyone uses it. Okay, that's fine. And then this is the microphone itself. Now, the good thing about this is that this is the, let me just reach across here, because is it the M6? I can't remember now. I think this was the M6 or the M9 microphone. It's actually a decent microphone. This is what was standard on the CRT 9900. They have slightly updated it on the QT80. You get, I think, 3 buttons. You won't get one that's programmable now. There's nothing wrong with this microphone at all. Supplied on lots of CRT radios. Always get a good audio quality. I wouldn't bother swapping this out. The only issue is that, yeah, it is, as I thought it was, it's an RJ45 socket on the bottom there. You can get adapters, which will take this down to a 4-pin or a 6-pin. But so that is one downside of the radio. If you've got other microphones you want to plug in, you can't do it. So there we go. Very standard in the box. Let me clear the bench. And let me just put some power to the radio, and we can have a look at the display. There we go. I've turned another light on. It was getting a bit dark in here. So here it is. It just about fits on the bench for the review. It is a nice size. In a minute I'll get the QT80 in and the CRT 6900. We'll have a quick look round it in a moment, but I just really want to see what the display looks like. And there we go. It's really quite nice, isn't it? Let me zoom in a little bit. Very big, isn't it? You've got the frequency there, and then you're going to have all of the signal meters when you receive and key up. I do like that. That is really nice. I don't know if you can change the backlight, although I'd probably leave it as it is, actually. Might want to turn it down just a little bit to use it at night. So yeah, overall the feel of the controls are really, really nice, actually. Volume control there, obviously power. I'm assuming it's the same as the QT80. So that would be the power for the radio. It's fully adjustable. And let's talk about power for the moment. So on AM, kicks out 60 watts. On FM, 50 watts, and then sideband 60 watts. So it's got plenty of power. With the power turned all the way down to the bottom, its low power is about 3 to 4 watts, so you can use this on legal power. And over this side you do have the squelch control here, and yeah, it comes up on the display there. I'm not getting any sound out of the radio. It's probably because I have not plugged in the microphone. Probably needs the microphone. So you've got volume. Volume comes up on there, and also squelch. And then there's the clarifier. I wonder if that comes up. It doesn't. So on the QT80, the clarifier is actually shown on the display. So you're just going to have to ride that by hand. And then you've got the channel select, which at the moment we are in frequency mode, because it ships as a 10-meter radio. That's nice. That's nice and solid. Does feel better than the 6900, I'm going to admit. And then we've got all the buttons on the bottom here. Double press, short or long. They're not illuminated though, which I'm surprised. Get another couple of radios in to give you an idea of the size comparison, because it is a big chunky radio. So first comparison is the QT80, and you can see, look, it's pretty much twice the size, isn't it? The QT80 is much more compact, easier to be a travel radio in your car or for DXing. Very good DX radio, but yeah, much smaller than that. This is definitely a bass type radio. Let me get the 6900 in. I've got a feeling it's going to be very similar in size. There you go, that's the 6900 in. And yeah, it's pretty much the same size, isn't it? It's exactly the same width, and I think it's about the same height. So yeah, same height as the 6900. Interesting comparison between the 6900, because obviously straight away with the 6900 you can see all of the different pots there, all of the different controls, and the channel indicator. So as I said at the beginning of the video, if you're completely new to CB, or you were on CB back in the day and you've had a massive long break like I did, I still recommend the 6900N, especially the version 7, which has now got noise reduction system built in. They're not, I think price wise there's not a lot in it between these two now. I think maybe 30 quid, something like that. But yeah, I still think that this radio is easier to learn. Everything has a switch, although that has got switches, to be fair. But yeah, no, I still think the 6900 is an easier learning curve than this radio, and certainly the QT80 or the 9900. Anyway, right, let me go away and research, find out how we can wideband this and see if we can get the other frequencies. So here we are then. This is the QT60 programming software. I haven't installed the radio yet. I'm just looking to see what's available, and straight away, yeah, here we can see this is the expansion mod. We can choose CB or ham radio, and there's already something in the memories on the program, and these are all the different work groups. But I really need to change the band. So if we just look at the bands here and we go to band A, and now it's expanded, we can see it goes all the way down to what is that, 25 megahertz, all the way to the 12 meter band, and up to 26. So somewhere in here will be the Euro channels, and that's really what we're gonna need. So it looks like all of the bands are already here for us. I imagine Euro channels are probably going to be D or something. Let's have a look in D. Yeah, there we go. These are the Euro channels, the mid block, and also these coincide with the American channels going up to 405 there on channel 40. So yeah, all of the presets are in there. I just need to think where I'm going to add the UK 40. And yeah, the radio just carries on, doesn't it? As you go up the bands, this will go right up to the 10 meter bands, which of course you can't transmit on those bands, but you can have a listen just to see what else we can do in the software. So we've got these other options here. Well, that's interesting. Look, just at the top here, it says 7900V, which is the CRT radio. So this is the CRT software. So we've got the SWR limit. They've set that at 20. That's ridiculously high. I'm going to set that at 5, which should protect the radio. No idea why that was at 20. And you've got all the other stuff here. I mean, this stuff we'll do in the menus anyway. Oh, the PA system, I've got no use for that, so we'll turn that off. And you've got the mic type and things. Well, I'm just going to leave all that alone, actually. I think that looks absolutely fine. What else we got? So these are all the Roger beep settings, and you could play with this for hours and create your own unique beeps there. And these are the weather channels, which we don't get in the UK, only really in North America. So yeah, everything seems to be there in order. I just need to program the radio. Here we go then. So I've plugged the programming cable into the back of the radio. Now these cables are different to a normal USB cable. They have got a programming chip in this section here. You normally need a prolific driver. Sometimes you don't, sometimes you do. Depends on what version Windows you're running. I've already got a prolific driver installed on my computer from various PMR programming software. So let's plug this in. What I want to hear is that familiar Windows sound. I've got the radio switched off at the moment. That will tell me that the cable's been recognised. There you go. Hopefully you heard that. And when I unplug it, you'll hear the other sound. Right, that's good. That means that we can now go ahead. Now normally the software detects the radio. So read from radio. Cannot open the communication port. Okay. Let's go to setup. Let's choose the communication port. It's saying that it's 12. Okay. Let's try again. Program read from radio. Yes, I do want to go ahead with that. So the radio has now, the display has changed. It's gone to PC. And it's now reading the radio. So that was fairly painless once we managed to persuade it to choose the right COM port. Now I'm not expecting the programming on the radio to be any different to what's on the software, because I imagine that's how it's been shipped. Let's have a look. So we're currently in ham radio mode. There we go. So yeah, so right, complete, fine. So yeah, as you can see, we're in HF mode here. I mean, we do have the option to change to CB mode. And there we go, and as we saw before. So what I'm going to do before I try and put the UK Muppets in, the UK 2781 channels, I'm just going to try and see if I can write this to the radio. So we're going to go to program, and we're now going to go right to radio. And this should wideband the radio, which is brilliant because we haven't had to go inside and remove those anti-sabotage labels or anti-tamper-proof labels. There we go. And that's writing. So we're going to stop the video now, and then we can have a look once it's downloaded on the radio. Right, so there you go. So it's now saying PC end on the radio. We'll click OK on the software. So let's have a look. So hopefully we can see this. It's a bit bright. Let me zoom in a little bit. Like I say, this is not a review, so it's a little bit how you're doing, unfortunately. Right, so switch the radio off. Switch the radio on. So we are now still in ham mode. But I wonder now if that little mod would work. If I go to band, yeah, we're still in ham mode, but we have reprogrammed it. So I wonder now if I hold these two buttons down and then I switch the radio on. Nope, we're still in ham mode. Okay. Oh, welcome to Fred's kitchen. Yeah, look, I've gone through all of the buttons, holding the buttons down, buttons combinations, and yeah, unfortunately, none of it takes the radio out of 10 meter mode. So it does appear that I need to go inside and look for a jumper, which I'm pretty sure exists. And unfortunately, that does mean cutting these little tamper-proof seals, which I really didn't want to do. But if that's what it takes to make the radio a dark side radio, that's what it takes. So let me get some screwdrivers and let's have a look inside. It'd be interesting to see how big the board is, because I've got a feeling it's going to be quite small. Here we go then, like pretty much all CBs. It's the bottom panel you need to take off. Careful not to pull the speaker wire out. And there we go. There's the board. And as I suspected, I mean, it's only really half the radio, isn't it? It's so small. So small now in radios. But there it is, all very nice and neat. Tuning pots, there aren't any. The days are gone when you had the little deviation pots and turning up the transmit power and turning up the audio. It's all menu based now. And yeah, it is. It looks quite nicely laid out. And then straight away, there you go. So there's our jumper. I'll zoom in a minute, don't worry. And that's the little white wire that I suspected would be there. Now, I'm wondering now, if you probably don't need to touch the software. If you just want to expand this into CB mode, like if you're in America, for example, and you don't want to program in any other channels, then this is probably all you need to do, is move that jumper. You probably don't need to touch the programming. Obviously, we're going to put the UK on. So, right, let me zoom in and let's change that jumper. So as it ships, that jumper is shorting pins 1 and 2. And we're simply going to lift that up, move it across. It's a little bit tricky to do. There you go. Push that back down. So we're now shorting pins 2 and 3. I'm not going to cut the wire because I've got no need to completely expand the radio down to 12 meters. Doesn't interest me. Can't transmit there. And right, that's it. So I think we'll pop the bottom back on, and then we'll take it back upstairs. And we'll have a look. Just looking at the construction of the radio, let me just zoom out a little bit here. Hopefully we'll stay in focus. For what is a budget radio compared to HF radios, I mean, it's quite nicely made, isn't it? When you look at it, you've got all of this sort of heat shielding here for the MOSFET final transistors. That's really nicely made. And even, hopefully you can see that, yeah, you can. The screws here for the bracket, they're brass nuts that have been incorporated into the alloy chassis. You really can't knock the build quality of what they're producing nowadays. Right, back upstairs again. I'm still not sure whether we need to snip that white wire to change the radio. Let's switch it on. Oh, okay, yeah. So we're still in 10 meter mode. By the look at, we'll try the old trick of holding down the 2 buttons here. Switching on. No, still definitely 10 meter mode. Okay, I'll do this off camera. I'm going to go back downstairs and I'm going to snip that little white wire, and hopefully that will completely open up the radio. Back again. This really has turned into a learn with Fred video. But I'm doing this so you don't have to if you buy the radio. Right, I've now cut that wire. Let's turn it on. Hopefully we'll see 27. Yay! There we go. Fantastic. Brilliant. So that's in frequency mode. And if we change that to channel mode, that gives us channel 9, channel 10. So channel D, so channel 30 should be the 305. 27, 305. How good's that? Would be nice if you could see the channel and the frequency at the same time. And I think that's the advantage of the 6900. When you're learning radio, you've got this separate display and you can learn the frequencies and channels. But that's fine. So 27305. Really, with that extra digit, that would just become your clarifier if you didn't want to use the fine clarifier. The clarifier, that's the squelch, isn't it? The clarifier, yeah, it doesn't change the frequency, which it does on the QT80, which I quite like. But anyway, so right, we've now got all the different bands. Yeah, it goes up into the 10 meter band. So how far does it go down now? Oh, crikey, yeah, it goes down to 24 meg, so it really goes down. The one we're looking for really is band D. That's the SEPT channels and the American channels. Fantastic. Right, what I need to do now is connect it back up to the computer, and then we can load up the UK 40 FM channels. When it comes to programming the UK channels, all I'm going to do is I'm going to clear down these cells, just go through these, delete them, and then I'm going to look on the internet. So let me show you that, for example. So just search for UK CB channels on FM. I mean, this is the first one to come up. This is Red Professional Communications, and here are all of the FM frequencies compared to the SEPT Euro frequencies, and we got that really weird 0.25 on the end, which we didn't want. And our frequencies are so much different to the Euro band and the American band, which was a big problem back in 1981. Now, what I'm hoping to do is just to highlight this, copy it, and then paste it into the cell in the Radioddity software. This works in Chirp. We'll find out how intuitive this is. And yeah, oh, look at that. So normally you would right click, but unfortunately no, it's not going to let me do that. Anything up here? Program, there's no paste. Edit, optional features. Looks like we can save this when we do it, but yeah, there's no. Okay, it's a bit of a pain. So it looks like I'm going to have to type in the cell. Hopefully 27. Yeah, so I'm going to have to do this manually 40 times. It won't let me paste. That's a bit of a shame. Chirp is very easy to do PMRs. It lets you paste into the cells. This one isn't. Okay, it's what it is. Come back when I've sat here and typed out 40 lots of frequencies. Right, so I've sat and typed that out. I'm hoping I've got it right. It only goes up by 10k really per channel, but I think I've got it right. I can always come back and do it if I have got it wrong. So I've changed the emergency channel to channel 19, and then on band D I've changed the emergency channel to the 305, and on band E I think it is, I've changed it to the 555. But anyway, so yeah, that's fine. That's set. That's all set and ready to program to the radio. Now it's a good idea to save it. I've saved this file. I don't want to sit here and type all that out again in case there's a problem, so make sure you save it. Program right to radio. Would you want to continue? I do. And there we go, and the radio is now changed to PC, and that's right in a way. So yeah, join me when that's finished, and hopefully we're now set up on the QT60. Right, going to switch the radio on now. And there we go. So we're now in band A. So if we go to 19, that should be 812, shouldn't it? So frequency, yeah, 27812. It doesn't show the 5 at the end. It doesn't really matter, to be honest with you, on the FM. It's so wide anyway. The QT80 does, though. The QT80 has got that extra digit, which just pushes it more into the HF type radio. Would have been nice if it had shown the extra digit, but I guess it is what it is. Now if I just come out of this and go back into that, we'll go up to channel 30. Now if I press the emergency button there, which I've now programmed, it should be 19. If I can do it. Yeah, there you go. So that's got my channel 19 on the emergency. That's on band A. If I now go to band D, which is the Euro band, and go to channel 39 again, that should now drop me to 305. It does go to frequency, yeah, 27305. And then if I go to band E, which I am on band E, if I press the emergency there, it takes me up to the triple nickel. So that's quite good. That's all working. Everything else I've left the same. So I think the volume, we need a microphone, I think, to put to for the volume to work. I haven't got an antenna connected, obviously, so I think next stage now will be to connect the antenna, and then wait to get a radio report from Dan on the 305 group.
Spain. Well, this is the coast. In this moment, the rain is near the coast. Well, have a look in Romania, in Poland. In Poland, where is Poland? Poland.
So yeah, it's receiving okay. I've not got anything switched on, such as the noise reduction system. I don't even know how to do that yet. But yeah, we're up on your upper sideband. And I'll take it back, once we've got an antenna connected, if you do adjust the clarifier, it does give you a fine reading there, which is quite good actually. So I'll take that criticism back.
Okay, the application is free application in the Play Store. The name is called Rain Alarm. Rain Separation Alarm. Okay? How are you, my friend?
Gonna try the noise reduction. There's 5 levels of noise reduction. It's quite subtle. Try that on 2. 5.
Okay, wait a moment, my friend. Propagation should be down. No problem, I think the separation is good. Only copy to Lima Victor.
Off.
To Lima Victor. No problem. This is a 30 Echo Kilo 171.
That works really well.
Her name is Javier. Like Juliet, Alpha, Victor, India, Echo, Romeo. Can you repeat your call sign? Back to you.
Sometimes less is more. Let's just back that off a little bit. Let's take it down to 2. Let a little bit more background in. Well, that sounds really, really good actually.
Continent. Like Oscar, November, Tango, India, November, Yankee, Echo, November, Tango. This city is 80 kilometers south of Valencia.
Not sure if the buttons light up, do they? I don't think the buttons light up. That's the only thing. No, I don't think they do. Bit of cross modulation going on now. I'll give a call out to see if anyone's on the 305. Dan should be there, hopefully. Be a bit gutted if he can't hear me, of course. Charlie Tango 16, that's 64. Freddie in the Shed, home-based London Coney, calling out on the 305.
Good afternoon, Fred. It's quite early today. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, as I say, a good strong Radio 5 signal line, and it's quite loud. It's good, clear, loud signal. And on line 99, the mic gain goes up to 36, I think, the same as yours. And I've got a 1 point less, so it's up to 35. And I've never had any problems with that. But that's a good position you've got now. It's nice and loud and clear. Yeah, no problem at all. Nice one.
Yeah, all copy, Dan. Just doing the adjustments. Yeah, you're right. This one goes up to 36. And I've got it on 30. Well, it's just me and you. If it's easy enough for you to do, shall we? Do you want to go over to the UK channels? And shall we try channel 27 to make sure I've got that set up right for the net?
Yeah, okay. Channel 27 on the buckets. Okay, we'll do.
Right, we're going to try FM. I should get down a little bit clearer on FM. I've got to think how to use this now. So I've got band A, haven't I? And I need to change the mode to FM and then go to channel 27. Right, so that's it, 27 FM. Right, let's give it a go. Yeah, Dan, you got a copy? You got a copy on Fred on channel 27 FM? got you, Dan. I got you there. Yeah, this will be the channel we'll be using for the net there. So yeah, I got you coming in sort of about 5 and 7.
Yeah, I had to switch over to memories and find the memory channel. But yeah, I've got you. You're in my red zone on this one. Although that's because it's FM. It's full power all the time. So that's just the FM change. Yeah, power appears to be going up, but it's the sideband isn't always as strong unless you whistle or shout at it.
Yeah, we'll copy there, Dan. Well, yeah, this one's supposed to be about 50 watts, I think. I've got it flat out at the moment, just testing it. I'm going to back it off in a second. But yeah, the needle's showing just over the 50. So that should be, well, it'll be plenty for the net there. I only need about sort of 8 or 9 watts really to get out to Dave in Elstree. But yeah, seems to be working really well. I've got to work out what a squelch is now. I think the squelch is there, so I'll put an auto squelch. But yeah, so you sound really nice on it, Dan. Over.
QSK.
Oh,
QSK, come in.
Hey mate, person of mine is Lima Tango 1884 Marlborough eastbound M25.
Good afternoon, sir. You got a copy on you. Oh, I don't know if it's by chance that you found us. We've just literally I came on this channel there. You've got Freddie in the Shed here, London Coney, and also got Dan 4428 Hatfield, Roger.
Roger, I did hear you guys over there on the 305 side there, but it was yeah, I was getting a load of foreign traffic on there, and it's still over there now. So as you moved away, yeah, on other foreign stations was not moving, so it was a bit hit and miss there. I was hearing bits of what you were saying, but yeah, a bit of an overload on that side.
They can see if the noise level is too high. Thomas, it's Max. It's Max. 315 Division Max. Can you copy 315 Division?
Yeah, 315 Division. Was that Mark? We have a copy. This is 26 Division. 26 Division. Call sign Charlie Tango 1664. 1664 QSL.
No problem. 26 Division UK. Hello. This is Ukraine. Ukraine, Odessa City, near Black Sea. My operator name is Max 315 Papa Alpha Tango 125. No problem to copy. Good signal. 595859. Very good. Okay. Sorry for bothering, and see you later.
I got a copy on you there. I think that was Pat. There you go. Just signed off the 305 now. We got pushed up to 315. Well, you can't say better than that. Got out to Mark there. Papa Alpha Tango 125 in Ukraine. 315 Division, I think it was. Yeah, it works really, really nice. Another thing, I was using that on full power on FM to get out across the dam when we got that mobile station coming in. I hopefully got that on video, but there's no heat at all on the back of the radio. It's not even lukewarm. If that was the 9900 or the QT80, that would have been raging hot. Even the newer version heats up on FM. The old version, my god, I could have fried some eggs and bacon on the back of it. So early impressions, I know. What do I think of the radio? Well, do you know, I really quite like it. I like the controls. I think they feel a touch above the normal CRT controls. I just said to Dan off camera, but it feels like a President radio, almost like it's been made in a President sort of factory, which is probably somewhere in China, isn't it? But yeah, I also like the fact that you've got 3 different meters here, which, so you've got obviously the signal meter, which I've turned down now, and then you've got your power meter, which I think is in watts. Because when I was flat out, we were going up just flicking under the 60, so I think that's in watts. And then you've got your SWR meter. There's no built-in SWR tuner, so you've got to be a bit careful of your SWR. So you got that, and all that works at the same time. Whereas normally you have to switch that between each meter, so that's quite useful. And yeah, I like it actually. Criticisms, well, the only thing I suppose is that mic plug. It's not got a standard 6-pin mic plug. Personally, I wouldn't really worry. I mean, this microphone, which I think is the M9 microphone, absolutely fine with that. You've got the up and down controls there, which you can change the frequency or channel. So I mean, I wouldn't change the mic, but you can. I suppose you can get an adapter from this RJ socket into a 6-pin or whatever. But anyway, so yeah, I really like the radio actually, and in between the QT80, which is very much a portable mobile radio, step up from the 6900. It's an in between radio, if you like. So quite good. Right, you're going to be seeing this radio before this video on the Big Net, because I'm definitely going to be using it on the Big Net. And it's a bit weird. This will come after. But this was the first time that I used the radio. Well, anyway, there you go. I'm waffling on. This is probably going to end up being a long video, so it wasn't really planned as a review. It was just me getting to grips with the radio, and it may help someone if you decide to get yourself a QT60. Only available in the US, not at the moment as I'm making this video, not on the Amazon UK site. That's a bit of a pity. I'm hoping Radioddity do bring it across to the UK, because you do get that programming cable included, and I think that's a good thing. Anyway, thumbs up from Fred in the Shed. Thank you for dropping by. Please look after each other, because there's lots of colds and throat infections and all sorts of lurgy going around at the moment. We're in the winter in the UK and it's been very damp, and lots of coughs and sneezes. Hopefully you haven't got any of those. But anyway, thumb up from me. If you get a second, just hit me a thumbs up down below before you go. It won't take a second and it helps me out. Cheers, stay safe, and of course we'll catch you all on the next one. Cheers guys.
Fred's in the shed where the magic unfolds. Fred in the shed with his trusty CB. He's a friend to the lonely on a frequency.